Hello, and welcome back to the Studio I podcast. It has been a while. I have missed you guys, and let's just get into the podcast episode as fast as possible. My filming setup is not perfect. I know that, but it is a filming setup, and that is more than I've had for the past 2.5 weeks. I hope the audio is alright because it's kind of echoey in here, but pray that it's fine. And this cat is incredibly mischievous behind me. Ow, ow, ow. He wants attention. Ow! He wants attention. So if he attacks me from behind, he's a paid actor. It's all for the plot. But today I wanted to talk about change and about a fresh start in your life. As I personally just moved a week ago, I would consider it a fresh start. I have moved about a bajillion times in my life, and every single time that I did move, I really treated it as a chance to start new, to start fresh with my life, to reinvent myself. And I'm not saying that you should do that necessarily, but if you are looking for a fresh start, then this podcast episode is for you. Sometimes all we need in life is to start over, to hit the reset button. And there's many different ways that you can create that fresh start in your life. But not only there's so many different ways that you can create that fresh start in your life. But first, I wanted to talk a little bit more about why you might need that fresh start and what the benefits are of that said fresh start. And the first one is increased motivation and opportunities for growth. Think about that New Year's feeling when you see the new year as a new opportunity to change and to grow, to set new goals, and to just move on with life. And to really give it your all again. Maybe by the end of the previous year, you were hitting a slump and you were feeling kind of meh. And that new year comes around and you're full of energy and you want to start creating that dream life of yours again. Well, a fresh start can always create that feeling, and sometimes even a lot more drastic than just the beginning of a new year. I mean, if you think about moving to another country, you can take on an entire new personality. You could become somebody completely different because you gave yourself the opportunity to do so. So the opportunity for growth with fresh starts are tremendous. And yes, you could argue that you could do that at any time in your life, but it is that increased motivation that comes with a fresh start that really helps you, that really sets you off on that self-development journey, and that can help quite a bit. The same thing goes for fresh start. It's basically like hitting a reset button. When you hit a reset button, it gives you a chance to start over. It gives you a chance to let go of bad habits and to implement new habits a little bit more easily because you get thrown out of your natural routine. Because nothing is normal anymore and because nothing is on autopilot anymore, it becomes more accessible to add new habits into a routine or to take out other habits that you might not want anymore, because it might not be as easy to do those things in the first place. Think about, let me give an example. Maybe think about throwing all your clothes on the floor after you took them off in the morning. It's not a big deal, but maybe right now, because your default spot isn't there anymore where you took off your clothes, you can actually train yourself immediately to put them somewhere else. Or if you used to go to your snack cupboards to always get bad snacks, if you move to a new place and there are no snacks, it's a lot easier to not eat those snacks anymore. When everything is changing, it is easier to then again implement other things into your life as well. And you can start fresh. A new starting over and a fresh start means that you can actually start again. You can start doing new things. You can start meeting new people. You can start hobbies that you never did before, and you can always do this. But when you move to a new city or when you decide to start your life entirely over again, it might become a little bit easier to then also find that motivation to start new hobbies or to go out and meet new people, because you are when you've moved, for example, you are in a new place anyway. And then it becomes a whole lot easier to convince yourself that you actually need to go out because you don't know anyone. So you actually have to go out. You actually have to start doing new things. And then you might as well make it those things that you wanted to do or wanted to learn for a long time. But so you want a fresh start. Then how do you get that fresh start? Where do you even begin? Because I can imagine that many of you who are watching or listening aren't about to pack up your house and move to a new city or a new place. There's many ways to create a fresh start. It can be New Year's, it can be moving, but you can also create it in smaller ways. Let's start with the drastic ways that you can create a new start, and then we'll move into the smaller, more manageable things. If you want to start fresh completely and you want an opportunity to completely change your life, move. I moved to a different city, but even to a different neighborhood if you live in a big city, or a different country if you're feeling particularly adventurous, can be a great way to start fresh. Now, this isn't feasible for most people, but it is something that you can consider. If everything is shit right now in your life, then just leaving it all behind and starting again can be a solution. But remember that if it's trauma or mental issues that are holding you back, moving ain't gonna solve them because you're gonna take them with you. Anything that is attached to you that you feel is the problem, you're gonna take with you anyway. So running away from it isn't gonna work. Just remember that. Also, be aware that you need to pay, that moving is expensive. So it's not something that you just do on a whim, but it is something that you could do, and it is something that is a fantastic reset to the life you currently have. Something a little less drastic could be a career change. If you feel like you're completely stuck with your career and with your professional side of your life, then maybe start thinking of a new career or just changing jobs within your field. It might be time to switch it up again. And while a career change doesn't change your life entirely, it actually could have a big impact because it could be closer to home, giving you more free time, or further away. And then you have to meet new people. There will be new people coming into your life. You might have more free time, less free time. Career changes do actually have an impact on more than just your job. So if you feel like that might be something for you, it is something to consider. Next up, something that happens every year. New Year's, just the start of the new year. It isn't a drastic change, but it often feels like it for people. And that's why I put it on this list, because it actually helps to motivate us, because it's a default reset within the year. So why not use it? And then something that's a little bit more sad, maybe, and it's a breakup. Breakups suck, and I'm not by any means saying ditch your boyfriend or girlfriend. That is not what I'm saying whatsoever at all. What I'm saying is that if you are going through a breakup, or if you feel like your relationship isn't working for you anymore, then a breakup is a great way to change your life for the better. Because if you were living together with that person, or you spent a whole lot of time with that other person, a breakup can be a great way to reinvent yourself in a different way. And I know that breakups suck, and I know that they hurt, but by implementing a positive change coming off of that breakup, you might actually be able to get something positive out of a really, really shitty situation. And if you're currently going through a breakup right now, my heart bleeds for you, and I wish you all the best. Because even though it has been a while since I've experienced one, I know it can break your whole world apart. But then you can start rebuilding it piece by piece by piece and become that version of yourself that you might have always wanted to be. That got emotional real quick, but I also have some less drastic ways of resetting your life a little bit. Just use a different month. Use every single month as a fresh start, a smaller fresh start. But you'll see that if you often implement fresh starts, that you will need less drastic ones usually. So just use every first of the month as a hit of a reset button. If you don't want to move, redo your house, move furniture around, redecorate, try and switching your kitchen cabinets around. Just hit reset on your space and start over without moving. And do it to the degree that you can manage right now. Is it only turning your couch around in the living room? Then it's only turning your couch around in the living room. Is it redecorating your whole entire house? Do that. Just make your place feel fresh and new again. And that can help to make your mindset feel fresh and new again as well. I also by no means am encouraging for you to throw out all your furniture and buy all new furniture. That is not sustainable and not something we should be doing. But maybe you can sell and thrift and do this with the least amount of impact on the climate as you possibly can. Changing habits. Just changing habits can also be enough to reset your life. But this will be a slower process because just changing all your habits overnight ain't gonna happen. I have made a bunch of content on habits before, and I will link it in the description box of this video or podcast wherever you are enjoying this piece of content. I have made videos on what habits for 2023. I've made videos on implementing habits, sticking with habits, discipline, all things habits. Think of it, I've probably made it, and if I haven't, leave a comment down below with what you do want to see from me. But yes, habits, changing your habits and just changing your life over time is also somewhat of a reset button, but maybe not the one you're looking for right now. Oh, you're so cute. Another great way to reset is bringing new people into your life, and sometimes also letting go of people that don't work for you anymore. But by making new friends, you often also implement new experience into your life and new views on the world and on what life can be. So if you invite new people, new hobbies, and new things into your life, you can treat that as a way to also slowly change who you are. Because with those new people, you can start becoming a version of yourself that you want to be, because those new people don't know who you were before. And then eventually you can change your ways around old people as well. And the same goes for letting go of people that don't add any value to your life anymore. That can also be an amazing refresh. And don't go ditching all your friends because you need to be the best or the smartest person in the room. It's not what I'm saying. But look at the people that you are surrounded with and ask yourself whether they are adding into your life what you need to have in your life. Are you missing things? Seek out people that can add that. Are people weighing you down? Maybe spend a little less time with them and replace that time with people that do add more value in your life. And then eventually you will create a balanced group of people that surround you. You will find your people. And finding your people is the best reset button that you can hit in your life, because it will allow you to thrive because you have what you need to be surrounded with. And lastly, you can lastly for this point, you can use Mondays as a reset button. And that leads me to reset routines. Because reset routines is something that I wholeheartedly believe in, and it helps for everything that doesn't, so that everything doesn't just blob together like one gray blob of a year, a month. By actually implementing weekly, monthly, or even daily small resets, you will keep a mindfulness in your life that will allow you to take control of the steering wheel and make small adjustments, and not let somebody drive and then you see that you drove miles and miles and miles to the wrong way. You can already adjust with those small reset moments when you need to, instead of having to make drastic turnarounds all the time. If you create a fresh start for yourself, you no doubt want to make the most of it. And in the final part of this podcast episode, I actually wanted to talk about how you can make the most of your fresh start. And there's 3 parts to this. It is letting go of the past, setting intentions, and being open to new opportunities. In order to make the most out of your fresh start, you will have to let go of what you want to let go. So journal on what it is in your life that makes you want that fresh start. Think about the things that you want to change, the things that you want to keep, and process the things that happen to you. That might be with therapy, that might just be in your journal, that might just be a really good cry. Make sure that you are ready to leave behind what you need to leave behind. Because if you are going to drag that with you, your fresh start isn't going to be as impactful as when you really start off with a blank, clean slate. And once you have that blank, clean slate, you can start setting intentions. I like goals. I really, really like goals. But unless it's you working towards a very intentional thing, I think that when you create a fresh start for yourself, that sometimes it's better to set intentions. So think of what you want to achieve. If it's really like New Year's resolutions and setting goals and making things happen, then harsh, clear goals can sometimes be what you need. But if that feels wrong and you just want to start fresh, but you don't really know where you want to go yet, then setting intentions might be a better way to go. So think of areas where you want to improve. Do you want to make more friends? Do you want to become healthier? And then implement a curious mindset into how you can achieve those things and try out things that you think might be best for you. You don't have to say that you want to go run 5 times a week, when you maybe actually might be better off to just explore some new workout opportunities in your area that you are moving to, or just explore in those areas of focus after you set intentions to improve certain areas of your life. Through exploration, you might actually find what works for you, because the idea that you have in your head right now of that thing that you need might not actually be the thing that you need. You might enjoy something else more. So by not making it a super rigid frame, you can actually allow your fresh start to lead you to areas that you didn't even know you needed to be before. Use your fresh start as an opportunity to reinvent yourself. Ask yourself who you want to be. Try to make an image in your head of the coolest version of yourself that you can imagine. That person that you desperately would want to be friends with. Become so awesome that people can't possibly ignore you. The people that you want to see you, of course. Now figure out who you want to be and what that person consists of. And if you want help with that, I actually have an ebook called the Dream Life Workbook. I set out a goal for myself to sell 9 this month, and it doesn't look like I'm gonna reach it, but not because it's not a great product, but because I haven't promoted it whatsoever at all. So forgive me that I'm doing it now. But so the Dream Life Workbook is a workbook of more than 60 pages that helps you figure out who you are, where you want to go, what you want to do, and it is only 15 euros. It used to sell for 30 and I have the price because I really wanted to help as many people as I possibly can. I have linked it in the description. If it's something that you want to check out, go ahead. If it's something that doesn't interest you, thank you for listening to the self-promotion anyway, and let's continue with the rest of the podcast episodes. So the last part of making the most of your fresh start is to take opportunities. Look out for opportunities, take them as they come. Do something unexpected, try something new, but also seek out opportunities. Don't go sitting back and waiting for things to happen to you. This is the moment to take control. This is the moment to try new things, to implement, to meet new people, to go out, to do things, or to change things that you usually do. It sounds scary, but it's actually exciting because you get to reinvent yourself. And to reinvent yourself, you need to place yourself just that little bit out your comfort zone. So seek out those opportunities and take them as they come. The worst thing that can happen is that you don't enjoy something. And then you just move on and you don't try it again. But if you don't try, you will never know. So take those opportunities, look out for those opportunities, and just try to make the most of it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. It has been a while since I made content, but I think it still felt quite natural. I haven't filmed in a while. I have a backlog of some content that I still want to upload. But if there's anything that you want me to do, and I might want to film a Q&A video actually. So if you would be interested in a Q&A video, just leave me some comments in the description box and I will write them down. I'm also going to be a lot more active on Instagram and TikTok from now on, because I actually have an amazing apartment where I can create beautiful content with natural lights, which is just chef's kiss. So you can follow me on there as well. It's linked in the description box too. And with that, I'm gonna let you go. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you soon. Toodaloo!